Going live. This Hangout is live. This Hangout on air is live. Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Matt Stevens in Al Ain, United Arab Emirates, sitting here on, let's see, the 27th of September, 2015. This is a Learning Together event. We have weekly Learning Together events, which often meet and hang out. And we're here today with Rob Howard, who's going to be our Learning Together event next week, or actually it's his event, which we're going to encroach on for an hour or two. And Rob is doing something called EFL Talks, which is EFLtalks.com, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, EFLtalks.com. We'll learn a lot more about that in a minute. Also sitting here with Ria Zeinsteyer, whom I presume is in Rosario in Argentina, and Nellie Deutsch, who is no telling where, hails from Toronto most times. So Rita, say hi.
Hello everybody. Hello Vance. Hello everybody thank you very much for being here and for inviting us to join this wonderful session. I'm sure it was going to be wonderful.
Yeah, we're looking forward to your questions. And as you know, Rob gave sort of a definitive presentation on EFL Talks, the 10-10-10 event. He gave it at the Fall Blog Festival, which Nellie organized. Nellie Deutsch is in the chat as well. That was last week, so this is kind of, I consider it to be sort of a flipped event. We've seen the presentation. It's online at Learning2gether.com. Not Learning2gether.com, sorry. We organize at learningtogether.pbworks.com. I'll put those links somewhere. We're in Chatwing right now, by the way. We're doing that for people in the stream. Right now we have 0 viewers in the stream, but we often have viewers in the stream. And the way this works is that when they come to the stream, they can go to chatwing.com/VANCESTEV, and they can then chat with the people who are in the Hangout through that Chatwing. But if we use the Chatwing text, we can't reach them. And Rob has put a link for EFL Talks there in fact, he's put a video there in the Chatwing. So let's see if Nellie has anything to say before we start. She's left us a message, trying to get back to my Gmail account and out of the Google domain apps. She said hi and all that. Okay. Anyway.
I'm here in the background.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, I'm just adding to the chat. I'll copy it at the end. Hi, Rob.
Okay. I'm on a Mac today. I'm not sure if my chat will copy today. I think it will, by the way. I think it will, yeah. I was having trouble getting my VPN working, which is why we're a few minutes late, because we were struggling like crazy. I just installed Windows 10, having some problems with it. Rob says Windows 10 runs his VPN just fine, but I guess mine's going to have to take a little chat with the help desk. Anyhow, Rob, how you doing? Sorry to delay your
no problem. I'm doing great, thanks. It's a nice sunny morning here. Actually, is it morning? No, it's early morning here in Brazil. And appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk about the exciting event we have coming up.
Yeah, we're Nellie, me, and you are all doing these events regularly. We get online, we connect with people. We're always interested in meeting other people who connect online. Rita has been a webhead since 2002. That's how a lot of this community practice got started. She was one of the first, and so she and I have collaborated in many spaces. She's been in many of Nellie's events. So this is a really nice network you're talking to right here.
Great. So, happy to be a part of it now.
Okay, and we're going to drive this, of course, from the floor. So this is a round table, and everybody can say what they like. It's always good etiquette to mute when you're not actually talking, as Nellie has done, and that way we keep down echo. So, Rob, what in the world possessed you to get into a 10-hour nonstop, one URL event? What is wrong with you, man?
A little bit crazy. I was actually sitting thinking one morning I wanted to do something new and different, and I was thinking about how at the conferences we always have these Pecha Kuchas, and everybody here is always doing a webinar, and we see these all the time. And I had just finished sitting through, I think it was about a 1-hour webinar, which I realized could have been covered in about 10 minutes. And I said, how can I put everything together? And at the same time, somebody next to me was watching a TED Talks video, and I said, now I have to put the three together. So in coming up with this, I actually started off with 9 and 9 and 9, and this started last month, and it was a week before 9/9, and I said, there's no way that I'll make Teacher's Day, so I decided to change it to 10 and 10 for 10. And when I found out that World Teachers Day is on October 5th, I said, this is perfect. And in working with it, I figured out, well, if I do 10 speakers, 10 minutes, with only 10 slides, I can get 5 speakers, 5 and 5. We'll do that in the future. I don't think a teacher can say anything in 5 minutes, other than hello. You know we love to talk. Yeah, Rita agrees. And, you know, I came up with this 10 for 10, and then I decided, well, it's going to be cute if we add on another 10. Let's do 10 hours. Not thinking about, can we do it technologically? We're figuring that out now, thanks to Nellie. But I just thought this would be something new and different. And the whole idea of the 10-minute TED Talk and coming up with not only just a webinar, but a built-up database similar to TED Talks where new teachers can come in and they can sit and watch just a short 10-minute video, get a teaser on either what we have to offer as teachers, whether we're writers, whether we have Moodle MOOC, whether we have Learning2gether, whatever it is. And we can showcase our products that we have and also showcase the ideas that we have and put this all in a one-stop shopping location. So that's why everything went into the blender, and I came up with the 10 and 10 for 10. And here we are today, 1 week away.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. What are your thoughts going into the final week? Do you feel prepared? Well, you've got the problem with that Nellie had last week with the one URL. I guess Nellie can tell us a little bit more about how that's working out. But that is a challenge to have a one URL stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to jump in here and give Robbie a chance to drink something while he's waiting. Get his throat cleared up after hours of, oh, that's black too. That's good. Anyways, with the link, I hope you can hear me. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, hear you fine.
You could probably see me now too. I noticed that I had this over my webcam. Yeah, well, actually, the Fall Blog Festival was a chance to try something out, so that you know, we could learn from my mistake. Everybody can learn from it. And as you mentioned, Vance, we learn from mistakes. So to learn from my mistakes, I was very happy to make a lot of mistakes so that it'll work for the EFL Talks.
Not
that the Fall Blog Festival wasn't very important, but I think we managed quite well. Nobody really noticed what was going on in the background. I mean, Vance, you knew about it because you seemed to pick up on mistakes. You noticed them.
You know, from the chat, I noticed that there was a lot of talk about it, and people were helping each other and figuring out how to get into it, how to crack it. Yeah. Everybody was just working on it, and everybody was arriving, and you know, the people there made it work, so no problem.
Yeah, wasn't that amazing? You know, I find that so rewarding and heartwarming that I forget his name. The guy that people came in with was called, and we thought it was a real person at first. We thought he was spamming everybody. Was somebody called Cole Rod, not Rob, Rod at Cole, or Rod for Cole, something like that. And the reason was that we were using a one link for everybody, so you would be getting kicked out if you were using that link. Well, this time we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to use the link that we figured out would work so that people don't have to register. The whole idea was to avoid the registration because people find that kind of annoying. And then, of course, they get a lot of the business side of things. And that's one of the things that I think, Rob, maybe you should discuss. What happens when you get, you're trying to promote yourself and you're getting people's emails, how responsible should you be when you're using those emails?
Well, can you hear me now? Back on? Hi.
Sorry, I muted myself. Yes, I can hear you fine.
Yeah. Okay, great, thanks. One thing, I think we should be very responsible with the emails. I'm not going to be selling these. One thing that I will be doing is sharing them with only the people that are presenters. People that have come into this and put the time and put the effort into appearing here will get the emails. And one of the things that I think is important is that we get the opportunity to share with students that we haven't been able to reach, and to have students interact with us because they've never heard of us before. So the responsibility, yeah, it's good. And this is one thing I won't talk about, some of the people who overly advertise to these people, but this will give an option. So we decided to have everybody register through the site. And what I will do is I will send them the email link afterwards. And they're actually going to have the option to opt out afterwards. So that's basically it. But I'd like to give the opportunity for any presenter who's taken the time to have that so they can do marketing to them.
And one question, let's see, I haven't actually done a lot of exploration since I guess people have their different workflows. Yours is with Facebook, and my Facebook is more less a workflow than a sort of a happy place. But so therefore, I didn't find your group until last night, and then I realized that there's some deadlines coming up. Like today, I think I'm supposed to, no, tomorrow I'm supposed to get a slideshow together. Ooh, was that part of this deal? Okay, so anyhow, where do we go to find out when the presentations are? Where's the schedule? I was looking for that. I don't know if I actually was able to find it. I haven't looked at it lately because I was going to actually look for it before we went on, but I had that problem with the VPN. So
yeah, no problem.
You can.
The schedule isn't published yet. That will appear on the site. And I'll put it into the Facebook group also. And the reason that I haven't done that yet is I only have 25 out of the 50 responses for times so far. So one of the things that has happened with this, because we were running basically 1 month start to finish, and I added my last person in, I think, 2 days ago for last speaker, because I had a few speakers back out as time went on, just due to not being able to be there. What we'll do is I will be posting the schedule as soon as I have everybody's availability, because the exciting thing about this is a worldwide event. And for instance, I'm here in Brazil. Nellie's 2 hours, I believe, behind, 1 hour behind me. We have people in Tokyo. We have people that are in Australia. So it's a lot of coordination.
Okay, this is Halima. Hang on, we have to. I'll mute Halima. I'm sure she understands.
Okay.
So, Rob's talking.
Yeah, working out this schedule. It'll come down to probably, hopefully in 2 days, I'll have the entire schedule up. And one other thing that I'd like to mention, Nellie asked, everything that I'm doing here has been done over Facebook for the most part. 98% of the contact and everything that I've done for sending information, people sending me information, has been going on through Facebook. And I'm a huge user of Facebook. I used it with my classes, and now I'm using it with marketing. And this is one of the interesting things with social networking. It's allowing me to get everywhere, all over the world. The PowerPoints, exactly, Nellie. They're shared on Facebook. The films, everything. So it's a really powerful tool. And funny because the message you got the other day, I set up that new group, Vance, specifically for people like you, because I found a lot of people didn't get the email that I sent. So I'm finding that it's a much faster response to go through Facebook than it is through email these days. And my students, my friends all know, if you send me an email, it's going to be 24 hours before I get back to you. If you send me a Facebook, it's about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I noticed that. That did work quite well. It was one reason you're here, because you're so responsive, and we're easily able to get you to come on and talk to us in this Learning Together event. And also, I mean, it would be nice after this settles out, maybe get you back on and talk a little bit more about how you use Facebook with your class and things like that. It's always interesting interacting in other people's social networks. Nellie has been a great model, for example. She, the way she organizes things through WizIQ, sorry. Blast from the past there.
You're showing your age.
Yeah, there you go. But she probably would have done it in ICQ back in the day. That was another way of modeling networking. But yeah, with WizIQ, she's got it really well set up to organize her events quite well and quite professionally. So it's always interesting to see how she does it. And I'd like to welcome Halima to the chat. She's from Tashkent, and she often drops in our events. And also, it says we have 2 viewers in the stream. We're streaming on, one place we're streaming is webheadsinAction.org/live, and at that place it's special because on one page you can watch the stream in YouTube, and you have this Chatwing chat below where you can interact with us if you like. So Halima is there. She's one of the viewers, I guess. She says, Chatwing as a pre-hangout is great. So anyway, there's another viewer somewhere in the mix, and anyone is welcome to join us. We have just 5 people here in the Hangout now, so you're welcome to join us. I'll just make sure that the direct URL, I'm putting it back in the chat wing, so I've just put it there, so you can come to the Hangout if you like, or some people just prefer to listen on the stream and interact with us in the chat wing. So, okay. I've lost the thread. Bring us back, Rob. Or someone else can ask a question.
Let's see. I'd like to talk about a little bit about Nellie and the influence that she's had on me. Basically, I was a classroom teacher who turned to online teaching, and fortunately for me, I worked for a company that was trying out WizIQ at the time. And because I had done so much teaching on a different platform, they asked me to be the tester for it. And as a result, I got involved with Teachers Teaching Online with Jason from WizIQ. And through Jason, I got involved with Nellie. And Nellie has been a huge influence on me, and one of the reasons that I call her my hero, and I've been trying to model myself after her because she does a great job, like you say, that she's really getting out there to the world. She's really giving a good product and a professional product through WizIQ, and I think she's one of the greatest things WizIQ has going for them. So thank you, Nellie. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And I still wouldn't be online if it wasn't for you.
Wow,
Nellie
I
and
had no idea. I had no idea. Thank you, thank you. I mean, I really had no idea, Rob. You're such a professional yourself. You know, I don't know where I came in, unless you were born this way.
Yeah, it's nice to get feedback from people. We've all been online for such a long time that you know, people do. Well, like for example, take Learning Together. There are only 5 people here, but often people tell me they listen to every episode. I meet people at the TESOL conferences who do that, and you know, there are a lot of podcasts I follow. I don't necessarily go to all events live. Someone put in our conversation today that this event was occurring at 11 o'clock at night for him, and of course, 11 o'clock at night for me is a bit late. I have to get up at 5, so you know, I don't make events usually like that. And it's so nice that you can just get the recordings. And speaking of that, I mean, Rob is putting on a 10-hour event next week. How do people follow the procedure? You mentioned that the schedule isn't up yet, but on the day, or when should they go and check out, make their plans for when they can, where would they go exactly? They're going to go to EFLtalks.com, I presume. There's going to be a link there that will guide them.
Exactly. What they have to do, go to EFLtalks.com, and there, right now, you'll see the lineup of the speakers, what we have to offer. We've got some great prizes that are being added, and in order to qualify for the prizes and also to receive the link, you have to register there. All you have to do is put in your name and your email. And what I will do is, as soon as we have the permanent link available, I'm going to send that out to everybody. And this way, I would recommend checking back anyway on the site, because I will put up the schedule as soon as I have everybody's information. We'll have the titles of what everybody's going to do, the exact time everybody will be there. And remember, this is going to be fast-paced. It's kind of funny for me doing a schedule saying that Vance will appear at 12:12 and someone else will be there at 12:24. This is really going to be down to the millisecond. So that's, you know, check back with the site. In 2 days or so, we'll have everything finalized. Titles, everything else, timetable, all up. And we'll be ready to send out the link in a few days. So that's EFLtalks.com. And we also have a Facebook group. So if you're there, look for EFL Talks on Facebook. And we hope you join us there, because I'll also be putting all the information on that site.
Let's see. I had something on the. Oh yes, you said that you had not all the slots filled. Is it still possible for people who want to do a presentation to be included at this point, or is it a bit late?
Well, now we do have all the spots filled. I just don't have everything organized as far as whose time is available. It came down to the minute, so I had to beat up on 2 of my friends to convince them they had to join. But we used a lot of pressure. There were a few speakers that, you know, we were waiting for that we would hope could make it. Unfortunately, it's a busy time of the season, and I understand that. But what I'm hoping for is next year or next event, when I put up EFL Talks event coming, that people are going to be, jumping on board again, because this is going to be a huge success.
And Rita has a question in the chat, but Rita, you're quite welcome to ask it live. Oh, you're muted. I muted everybody. You have to unmute.
Yeah, sorry, Vance, thank you. Rob, are you covering the number of people you predicted to have?
As far as presenters?
Yes.
Yes, we have 50. That
Great.
was my target number, and we got all 50. So very happy about that. At first, I was worried that I had bitten off more than I could chew, shooting for 50 presenters. But for the first week, I was very worried. The second week, I saw people coming on quickly, and we got to the 40 point relatively fast. It was just working out the last 10 and working out schedules and what it was we needed. A lot of people had been on vacation during this time, so it was tough to get in contact with them. But we made it.
Congrats.
Thanks. We'll have you there for the next one.
Oh, yeah, please. Yes, I'm really looking forward to being able to participate. It's a pity I won't be able to make it next Sunday. But I'm sure it'll be a hit.
But this is the best part about it, is what, like Vance says, recordings are available. And this is one of the things that I've found is everybody always has a recording for the webinar, but nobody is really as organized as both Vance and Nellie with having a good archive of videos for their webinars. And I've even done searches on YouTube trying to find specific people's webinars on a specific subject. And even though I know they're there, they're impossible to find. This is why I thought having this TED Talks format and posting everything right on the page, and we're going to have a searchable database with keywords, the presenter's name, the subject name, everything, and also having it on YouTube. This is going to make it, number one, easy for the new and future teachers that we're trying to get to find us. And also, for somebody who's small and maybe just wants to, do one webinar a year, this gives them kind of a marketing source to get out there to the same people as someone like Vance and Nellie, who are on every 5 minutes. So that's the goal.
Great, great, Rob.
The other viewer in the chat identified himself as Arthur Oglesby, who sometimes joins us in Hangout. So Art, you're quite welcome to pop in, and as you like, you can pop in for a few minutes if you like. If you have anything to ask Rob, I'm just curious. Are you planning to come to the session that is next week? Are you going to attend? You're familiar with the 10-10-10 event? And I don't think you ever actually explained what 10-10-10 means, Rob. And I understand the next one's going to be a 24-24-24. I'm not sure how you're going to work that.
It's 10 and 10 and 10 is 10 minutes, 10 slides with PowerPoint. That's all you can use, and it will be for 10 hours. So we're going to open up one link, and we'll run consecutively for 10 hours, 50 presenters. We'll have like a 1 minute, 1.5 minute window in between each speaker. And the whole idea was to get people to get to the point quickly, give a much more dynamic presentation, for some people just to give a teaser of the information that they're trying to share. And with this, I just thought, I have this problem with symmetry, and everything always has to be 10-10-10 or 5-5-5 or whatever. So this is why I came up with the name, which really bothers me because our next event that I want to plan is 10 and 10 for 24. And after we get done with this, I'm shooting big. I want to do a 24-hour webathon. But 24 minutes is too long. 24 seconds, too short. So I think we're going to have to go with 10 in 10 for 24. Perhaps we'll do it on, what would that be, October 10th, something like that. I don't know. We'll come up with a reason that 10 and 10 for 24 works.
Yeah, I titled my slides at the Fall Blood Festival 21-21-21 because it was on the September 21st, and I thought, well, 21 minutes, 21 slides, 21.
Perfect. It's catching on.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, let's see. Anybody is welcome to.
Yeah, actually, I would like to ask you, Vance. I know that I first heard of you actually through Teachers Talking Online. We connected there doing Jason's. I saw you speak there. What was it about this that made you decide to say yes to a virtually unknown person who was trying to do something crazy, like a 10-hour webathon?
Well, it's the way we've always operated. Actually, I'm interested in talking to anyone, so I'm not saying that someone who has a big name is not welcome. I mean, we do have people come online and talk to us from all walks and all degrees, and we've been doing it. We've got some 250 sessions now. So, but what I really do like to do is meet people who don't normally have these presentations. There's so many people with interesting ideas, and you can meet one a week and learn quite a lot from just about anybody. So, and I guess I recognize a common spirit. Someone who's trying to do things similar to what Nellie and I are trying to do, and others besides who put on such. And partly out of sympathy, because as I mentioned, we used to do these 72-hour events, 3 days at a stretch, having all kinds of people. We had George Siemens, Stephen Downs, just lots of people. Anyhow, we always had keynotes. We also, I'm just going to mute Rita here. Okay, there's an echo coming in. Okay, so that's actually why I started Learning2gether, because I really like the concept of doing something. We had every other year a 72-hour event. We did that for 3 years, but I got so stressed by that I just stopped doing it and started doing them once a week, and so that's just been a lot easier pace for me. But anyhow, it's just really nice to talk to people who are sharing content. And John Hibbs, Rita just mentioned John Hibbs. He's worth mentioning. He did something called Global Learn. What was it? Global Learn Day? I think it was that.
Voyages round the round voyage round the world, something like that.
I think it was Global Learn Day. GLD sort of rings a bell. Yeah, he was the inspiration for me because I was so impressed with his events. It was back in the last century. He was doing them using telephone lines, and then
24 hours running.
We discovered, the idea was that it was simulating a ship going around the world, and the ship was following the time zone.
Yeah.
And in any event, at some point, after a couple of years after he'd done it, he discovered real media, the real player, the real player, and we started doing it on there. Rita, you're getting a lot of echo from your setup. If you had a headset, it might help
Oh,
if you can just
yeah.
mute.
Hello. Hi. Hello.
Hello, Halima. How are you?
Yes. Sorry that I'm late.
Oh, okay.
Rob, I am very sorry that I didn't present at this fall conference. Yeah, I am a Muslim, you know. We have 3 day. So
Oh, Nelly. I think you muted Halima by mistake. She was just talking. Anyway, if you want to talk, just unmute yourself. You're welcome to chime in this conversation. But just try to keep yourself muted when you're not talking. Okay, the echo could have been coming from Halima. I wasn't sure if it was from Rita or Halima. Okay. Anyway, let's see. So, how are you planning to MC this? Because you're going to have very little time yourself, or between presenters. Don't forget you're muted. Rob, you're muted. Yeah.
Here we go. Unmuted.
Yep. Hear you fine. Oh, nope, you're muted
okay.
again.
I see. I'm colorblind, so it's hard for me to see the difference. Okay, good. So now you hear me, yes? Okay, good. Yeah, basically, I'm going to be drinking a lot of coffee. The nice thing is I figured it up. There's only about 2 hours of talk time for me spread out over 10 hours, so I should have a voice left. I have, as a backup, one of my teachers with my company, Stephen Green, is going to be my backup co-host. If I run into a problem, he's going to jump in for me. And I can always count on Nellie if I collapse in the middle of it. Nellie will be there. So she's my rock. And I don't see a problem. I think Nellie and I spent more than 10 hours yesterday online, back and forth. So I think I can make it through. And really the nice thing about it, it's going to be relatively easy if everybody enters properly. Nellie's been helping me get everything organized as far as we're getting all the videos, all the PowerPoints, everything ready to go. And we're pretty confident everything is going to be a nice, smooth sail. So that's it.
Yeah, one thing I really like about the online environment is so surprising. Things just go well. Nellie was talking about the small glitch at her fall blog festival, but it still goes well because everybody wants it to succeed. And so it's kind of like running a marathon. I don't know if you've ever tried that, but training is really hard and it's lonely. But when you're actually in the event, people are handing you water, and it's just goes so smoothly. So, it's like that. So I'm sure you'll do really well in the 10 hours that we're with you. And you say it starts at 9 UTC. Okay.
9 a.m. UTC, and it'll run for 10 hours. So I've learned time zones. I have a big time zone clock across here now, so I know where everybody is. And talking about, I think that teachers, because we're used to everything always going wrong in the classroom, we don't mind that there's a plan B. And I think we're very patient with each other. And I think, noticing the problems that we had with the blog festival, I know you and I couldn't get in for a little bit. But nobody cared. We kept fighting and we got in. And in your case, I remember all you had to do was say, please advance the slide, which is, I've told people the same thing. So we're very cooperative. Teachers are great, and this is why I wanted to put something together for teachers that we could all share. I used to be in business, and we don't share anything. So.
So how long have you been a teacher, out of business and as a teacher?
Well, officially as an English teacher, I moved to Brazil 12 years ago, and I lived up in the Northeast in a very small tourist area. And when people realized that I could speak English, everybody came to me and said, "Oh, can you teach me, teach me, teach me?" And I actually went to work for two friends, just teaching a few classes. And I found that I liked it. And some of the students came to me and asked me to start my own school, and I did. I went from 4 students to 140 students in 1 month, and basically taught service English for the people in this tourist area. Then I moved to Rio and became a teacher at a course and started my own online business, which was slow in starting, but now has built up to 10 teachers, and we have teachers from all over the world, and they're teaching all over the world. So I planned on being a teacher from the time I was a kid, and when I was in school, I actually minored in secondary education, but I realized that teachers didn't make any money in the States back in those days, so I also studied business and computer science. So I went into business to make my money and said someday when I retire, I'll be a teacher. And here I am.
Yeah. So you've got an online business. What's the link to that?
Yep, here, I'll put it in.
Chatwing?
Let me see. Chatwing.
Either one.
Yep. It's called Online Language Center. Which is actually kind of funny. This was actually a joke. When I was a young student, I would say probably in elementary school, I could not spell the word language. And I had a blackboard up in my kitchen, and it was like Bart Simpson at the beginning of The Simpsons. I would stand in front of there writing language 100 times per day. So when I decided to come up with the business name, I had to put the word language in it.
So it's typographical. Just
Yep.
keep transposing those letters. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Very good. Okay, let's see.
So this is a place where you can find conversants in. Do you just do English, or do you do other languages as well?
Well, right now we're doing English, but one of the things that we're doing is we've been talking with other teachers. I have a French teacher who's going to be starting. I've been contacted by a few Italian and Spanish teachers, and we're going to start adding this in, because basically what we're doing is, for anybody who teaches, my niche has been C2 level and above. And what we're trying to do is take from where the course leaves off. We want to give some more support for language learners for business English, teaching. One of our big things that we do here is a local university in Brazil just started an executive MBA in English, and in order to do that, their professors needed some tweaking and some support and some help. So this is one of the things that we've done for the past year. In fact, we've just re-upped our contract for next year. And we have our teachers supporting teachers at a university so they can in turn teach their students. So it's been very exciting, and I think this will continue to grow, and we'll be adding more languages in.
And Rob, are you running international projects between teachers from different countries to expose students to different kinds of projects I mean, between students and teachers?
Yeah, what I'm trying to do right now is, once this is done, my next step is I want to start working with drawing more teachers in. What I found is I started a group, actually let me add this here. I started a Facebook group in March called English Students. And I did this primarily so we could put like blog posts and little hints for upper level English students around the world. And ironically, we're, I believe, over 3,200 members right now. The majority of them are teachers. And people started talking to me a little bit about, you know, what's going on with them. And what they said was, well, I'm going to school to become a teacher, or I'm a new teacher in Morocco or in Tokyo or in Thailand, and I need more help with my English. And unfortunately, you know, it's hard to give out private classes to everybody, and especially in these poorer countries where they really can't afford anything. So I was looking for a way to reach out and help these specific teachers, and this was what was in the back of my mind when we started this idea for 10 and 10 and 10, is to reach these people who need a little extra. And you know, I thought, who better to help them than us, the professionals?
Sounds like you might consider a MOOC. That might work.
Yeah, you know, we won't talk about that yet. Nellie and I are always talking, so
okay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Let me say, I just wanted to talk to Halima's here. It really won't be a flipped event. The one downside to this event that I would say, if there is a downside, is because we're only a 10-minute presentation, there's not going to be any question or answering. And it's going to be a live presentation. And basically, I've told all the presenters, don't even watch the chat room. I'm going to have moderators here, some of my other teachers who will take care of the chat room. And I don't want you to respond right now to what they're looking for. The idea is to motivate these people to want to learn more, and now they'll know of you as the expert. And for instance, if they're looking for Moodle information, now they've heard of Nellie, they know that they can look for her classes, and they have a place that they can learn. So it's the only downside. There's no interplay between the viewers and the speakers, which is much more dynamic. But with 10 minutes, you know, that's one question, I think, for most people.
Yeah, the description Halima is referring to is the description of this event, because you gave the presentation at the Fall Blog Festival where you told us what it was about, and it's archived. It's on YouTube, and you can go to learning2gether.net and find it there. And also, you could go into Nellie's Fall Blog Festival. You could Google that, and you could find Rob's presentation. So you can. So this is a flipped event. Basically, we know who he is. We've seen his presentation, but you know, just finding out who he is and where he's coming from, and we can understand that he's a teacher at heart and that he's trying to help people learn English and help the profession, doing what he can, just and very interested in the social aspects of it, which is something I call small social media assisted language learning. I think computer-assisted language learning is kind of doesn't really say anything, because you have computer-assisted telephony, computer-assisted refrigerators, you know. But in any event, so I think really the social media aspects of language learning is really what technology is about. That's what we explore in this environment. So yeah, that was basically I called it a flipped event because we've really seen Rob's presentation beforehand. We know a little about what he's trying to do, and now we're just talking to him and learning more about it and able to actually converse, which is what Learning Together is all about. It's not really Learning Together is a breezy 1 hour, could be an hour and a half. Some people stay that long if they want, but anyway, it's there's no time limit, and we can just chat, which is what we really like to do in Learning Together.
Well, I think, I'm reading more closely. I was reading so quickly before. And I think this is maybe a possible follow-up that we'll look into is once the event is over, maybe we could do this and, have this type of face-to-face chat after everybody has seen all the presentations. It's a nice idea. And, this would be, we're learning as we go, and we can grow with this. So I like the idea. We'll look into it.
Okay, yeah, you could use Learning Together as a platform if you like. It has historically been kind of difficult to find people to come on week after week, although it's actually happened most weeks after weeks. But at the moment, especially coming into Electronic Village Online, it's getting a little bit full, but I think probably November, December, there's not that many events happening. But anyhow, you're always welcome to work through this platform if you like. If you meet anybody who just wants to come to a hangout. I work with Jeff LeBeau that way, for example. He does weekly events, and I suggested for his last one, let's do it on a Sunday. We call it Learning Together with ELT Live. I can't remember. Is that what he calls it, his event? But anyway. So yeah, we're all connecting with each other. Nellie always encourages me when I come to her events to say, "Learning Together." This is a Learning Together event. It all connects. Go ahead, Halima. Did you want to say something else?
Hello, Dr. Nelly. Hello, Dr. Nelly. May I ask you?
Sure. Go ahead.
Yes, of course, Helena. You may ask anything.
Okay, Halima, you're muted. While she's unmuting herself, just like to note the time. It's the top of the hour. We've been in session for an hour now. It's not like we have to go, but we do like to be respectful of our listeners to the broadcast and our presenters who take time to be with us. So, here at my house, it's dinner time. But anyway, that's okay. We can let that go for another 10 minutes or so.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for being here. And Nellie and I will be back hard at work getting everything ready. And I hope everybody watching this, and of course everybody here, I want to see all of you signing up for the next big event. Let me see, with 24, we'll need 120 presenters for our next event. So I hope everybody joins in. And again, yeah.
I was just going to ask, you mentioned there was someone handling the social network aspect. You said there was another name that we might bring in here, the people that are helping you with this event. Who are the other people we should credit?
Well, Nellie is here. Let me thank the sponsors while we're here. Nellie is the sponsor, and I don't have the sponsor page up here. But we also are getting some advertising and marketing help from another sponsor, EFLmagazine.com. Another is Chuck Sandy, who's going to be a presenter, is giving us support from ITDI.pro. Jason Levine is going to be here presenting, and he's going to give us support from GalleryTeachers.com, which is a new joint venture between Gallery Languages and ITDI. And also somebody that I met face-to-face, a fellow trumpet player and a friend in Sao Paulo years ago, Merriam-Webster's Dictionary is going to be a sponsor. And the best sponsor and advisor and support of all, Nellie with Integrating Technology. And I couldn't have done this without her. And my co-host, I'd like to mention Stephen Green. He's a teacher who works with me. We've been friends for a few years. And he's also half owner of TaylorMade English. And let's see, did I leave anybody out? Of course, we have WizIQ. Vance, you were great for giving us support and giving us a place where we can get the word out more. I appreciate it. And I'd also like to thank our keynote speaker, who we will do a reversed keynote. Our keynote will probably take place near the end, within the last hour or two, and that's going to be Gavin Dudney, and he'll be here. So, I encourage everybody, check the site, EFLtalks.com. You'll see the schedule. You'll see the lineup. You'll see the prizes that we're giving away. There's some very good prizes that are in there. Some 1-hour times with specific presenters. Some nice freebies on courses. And more questions.
Just one more question. Did you ever come up with a hashtag?
I am not a Twitter person.
Okay.
I'll give you the one we have right now. We have EFL Talks OLC, which makes no sense, but it's Online Language Center. Stephen is my Twitter expert. He's always on Twitter. So Stephen's trying to negotiate to get EFL Talks for us, because it's a relatively inactive account. And hopefully we'll be able to get that.
Yeah, just a tag where people can aggregate your content. So when people are tweeting about you, they use the tag, and all that comes up. Or in Facebook too, hashtags work really well in Facebook. So when you use them, then you click there, then all the posts associated, like Learning2gether, for example, it's a hashtag, and when I use it in my posts on Facebook, when you click on it, it brings up lots of other material about Learning2gether.
I'm waiting for a webinar on how to be a webhead, because I've learned so much with this stuff. I'm now, with organizing the event, I'm basically a businessman and a teacher. Now I've become a site designer, a graphic designer. Nellie's taught me a huge amount. So it's very interesting. When I think of hashtag, I think of hash browns, and it just makes me hungry. So I'll get up to snuff. Nellie's, dragging me kicking and screaming into the 20th century. So we'll get to the hashtags. So
we'll check out EFL Talks. We'll stick it in there and see if anyone else is using it. That's really what you need for a hashtag. You need to do a search on it, and if no one else is using it, that's your hashtag.
Yeah,
it should be short.
It's relatively inactive. Let me just give you this. That's why I have this as a backup. Stephen will be doing everything here. EFL Talks OLC. Okay. And as soon as we get it available on the website itself, you'll see at the bottom of the page, I've put a connection to the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, and also the Twitter. Okay.
I think EFL Talks as a hashtag would work for you, because I just searched on it in Google and nothing comes up. So it's just a Let's Talk EFL site, or Let's Talk ELF actually. Did I misspell that? No, I did. No, I don't know. I'll try it again.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we're trying to see if we can get it, and hopefully, it's the only thing. When I came up with the idea, how to tweet to me, send me a Facebook, Halima. If you send me a tweet, I'll never find it.
Well,
I have the phone here. I'm working on it.
Yeah, EFL Talks is actually coming up not on a hashtag, but it's bringing up your material from on Twitter. There's quite a lot of stuff there already. Okay, well, anyway, yeah, if anybody has any last thoughts, please feel free to chime in.
Just thank you very much, Rob, for your very interesting description of what you're going to do. It really looks like a very promising event. Thank you very much, Vance, for bringing Rob into our community. And, well, it's been a pleasure sharing this session with you all. Thank you again.
Thank you, Rita, and we hope to see you presenting on the next one, okay?
Definitely, definitely I will. Thank you very much.
Good.
Okay, well, this is our Learning Together event for the 27th of September. We're looking forward to Rob Howard, his show, his event next week on October 4th, which is EFL Talks, a 10-hour webcast-a-thon of slide presentations, each lasting 10 minutes and 10 slides. So soon I've got to get going on mine and prepare it and figure out when it's going to be. But we'll be in touch with Rob about that on Facebook. And Nellie and Halima, thank you very much for coming along. Any last words? You're welcome to say goodbye or whatever.
Thank you, Rob and Vance for doing this. And I think that what Rob is doing, or what he came up with the 10-10-10, and the whole idea of helping the community, the EFL teachers and organizations, I think it's a brilliant idea. So thank you, Rob, for doing this for all of us.
Thank you for helping me do it, both of you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're looking forward to it next week, so we'll pop in at some point. For part of those 10 hours. Great. Okay, thanks very much. Good night, everybody.
Thanks again.
Okay.
Bye.